Hello everybody, Ken Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, here to react to the Raptors' 109-116 loss to the Miami Heat. Riker, overtime loss. Toronto played well in this game, but the Heat just kept fighting.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Would have been nice to see a 60-win season, but it's fine. And as you said, the matchup might be better leading into the playoffs now.
The Washington Wizards. We'll get into our playoff previews later. That'll come out in the next couple days. But the Raptors lost this game, and it was probably one of the worst case scenarios that could happen for Toronto. There was a lot of injuries tonight. They played. Fred was banged up. I think Matt said he hurt his shoulder. It looked like he was holding his knee, his ribs. It seemed like everything was hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was a bit of inflation to pick up a call too, but he did go back in the locker room. To me, it looked like whoever set the screen, a leg was extended, clipped Fred's knee, perhaps his thigh. I'm not sure. Yeah. I question sort of whether or not it was a completely legal screen. I can't imagine that the intention was out.
Definitely
it was definitely illegal, but I'm hesitant to say that the play was in and of itself intentional to be dirty. But you know what? Fred would be the biggest person to go down, so hopefully he's okay, whatever it is.
Yeah, we need Fred back. Serge got hit in the face. CJ Miles went down early. CJ came back in the game. Ibaka went out late, didn't play the end of the game, didn't play in overtime. So just a messy game. That's the one thing. It's a good thing we're not playing the Miami Heat in the first round, because half our team be injured by the end of that series.
Yeah, and the Raptors have a knack of losing in the playoffs against veterans. We lost because of, what's his name? Paul Pierce. You know, we would probably end up having a difficult time because of Dwayne Wade, so it's not the worst thing in the world to happen.
A couple of years ago? That was a very messy series, but we pulled it out in 2016. I'm sure we would have beat them this year, but now we play the Washington Wizards. But what were your thoughts on the game tonight? Kyle Lowry, for me, was the biggest bright side of this game.
Oh, not a bad game. I mean, I don't want to pick and choose too many bright spots, given we did lose a game that we probably shouldn't have lost. And it's mainly because the defense was exploited in the fourth quarter in overtime. Wayne Ellington went off in the fourth. They should have adjusted to guard him out at the three. And then, who is it? Oh my gosh, apparently Justice Winslow, he absolutely dominated DeMar DeRozan in the overtime. So, those things are casting a more negative shadow. But, I mean, yeah, you liked Kyle Lowry. He almost had a triple-double. I liked Jakob Poeltl this game. He 80% from the field, double-double, played really well. It's that kind of IQ that is good for going into the playoffs. And that's something that, he's been struggling with at the past couple of games playing well. So it's good to see him back.
Yeah, great to see Yak playing well, and awesome to see Kyle Lowry hitting shots. He's been kind of in a lull as of late, not having too many big scoring nights, always facilitating, doing those things. So it's great to see he still got his rhythm, and he's not a lost player, because we're going to need Kyle Lowry to come up big in the playoffs if we're going to have success. As you said, near triple-double. He was 1 assist away, 9 assists, 10 rebounds, 28 points. So that was great. As you said, Wayne Ellington, he turns into Michael Jordan whenever he plays us. Kelly Olynyk, he elbowed Serge in the face pretty bad. I was very frustrated. He's known as a dirty player, Canadian guy, so I like him, but I don't like him when he plays against us.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a tough game. Would have liked to see a 60-win season. It would have just made it look a little bit better. It would have made a more enticing story for the Raptors moving into the playoffs in the eyes of Raptors fans, American media. I definitely think now that Dwayne Casey is not going to get... Has Coach of the Year already been decided?
No, it hasn't.
I definitely think that he's out of the contention now. I hate to say it, but I would almost say that the 76ers coach would be more...
Rick Brown.
Yep, I'd say that he'd almost have more of a possibility of getting the award.
Oh, I disagree with that. I disagree with you there.
I think D'Antoni is probably the lock-in. I don't think Dwayne Casey... I think he needed this game, right? I think what he's done... What's your argument? All right, why do you think he should get it?
I think Dwayne Casey. leaving the Toronto Raptors. No one thought that the Toronto Raptors would be this good. Everyone thought we'd be the 6th seed, losing Patrick Patterson and whoever. Developed this roster. The team has overachieved, and we completely overhauled our system to play basketball the right way. Like, we've talked about it all year. Raptors fans know, anyone listening to the podcast knows, that the Toronto Raptors have revamped their structure of their offense, and hopefully it translates to playoffs. It definitely translates to the regular season.
Do analysts and coaches and everybody who don't watch Raptors games consistently, can they see that improvement was made? Because you said that they completely overhauled their offensive system, which is true, right? But you said that they overachieved or surpassed expectations, which is not true. They've been over a 50-team win for the last 4 seasons, right? They were a 56-win team last season or the season ago, so they're only 3 wins better, right?
Well, if you look at the projections, where the Toronto Raptors were supposed to be, they definitely overachieved. I think that's
okay.
Fair to
but
say.
then
Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, but that argument that's not good. It's not a great argument for why Dwayne Casey is going to be coach of the year. If you're looking at who overachieved, then Brett Brown would be the coach of the year.
Well, if you look at other teams, I don't think Brett Brown will get it because he has 2 generational talents on his team. Mike D'Antoni won it last year. There's never been a coach to win it back-to-back years. I think the only person that could get it is Brad Stevens in Boston with all the injuries. But still, they haven't really been hot since halfway through the year.
No, I think Mike D'Antoni, even Utah Jazz's head coach would be a guy that you could probably toss in the ring. But, whatever. It'll be seen. I'm just saying, I completely believe in the Raptors moving into the playoffs. I think that they'll do good in the first round. It's to be seen whether they'll win that first game or not. But
yeah, they better win that first game.
It would have been nice to get that 60 win, but it doesn't matter. So moving forward, they just got to keep playing hard because you play Miami a second time. Wayne Ellington's not getting 32, right?
Yeah.
CJ Miles isn't going to take 7 threes and only make 1, right? Serge Ibaka's not only going to shoot 4 times from the field. Like, it'd be a completely different game if they played the second time, and I think the Raptors would dominate them.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to worry about the Heat till next season, anyways.
That's
but
true.
The Raptors, they played fine. We're not going to get too dragged down by this game. We're good. We didn't get destroyed or anything like that. The Cavs came out and got blown out by the Knicks tonight, which was kind of a mess.
I don't know. I think they want to play the Raptors second round, so I feel like I didn't see the highlights of the game, but I'd almost say that they were just making sure that in case the 76ers lost, they didn't want to win that tiebreaker. But.
So you're saying they want a second round sweep? They want a second round get swept by the Toronto Raptors?
Listen, I'm saying that the Raptors better be ready to pull up their big boy pants in the second round and be ready to scrap.
Yeah, well, we got to get there first. Anyways, let's get straight into the segments for this one.
Yep, quick segments.
I know you have a DeGoat play of the day.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say we'll spin it into the segments. We'll spin it into the DeGoat play of the day because it was a spin move that garners that award. JV in the first quarter, he does a little spin move around one of the guards on the Miami Heat and finishes it with a sweet one-hand dunk. It's nice to see that dexterity from the big man. I didn't know he had the old washing machine technique tucked in his back pocket.
Spinning around. I like Jonas, the nimble Jonas.
Nimble Jonas.
In the paint.
Yeah, but not all plays. Not all plays
can be the play of the day.
No.
And some just make you say, oh, geez. And tonight, there's an oh, geez. James Johnson, former Toronto Raptor, ran down the lane, took out Kyle Lowry. It looked a bit frightening. Lowry seemed like he was holding on to him for dear life. He was on the ground. It was a bit frightening. We don't want to see Kyle Lowry get hurt going into the postseason, but he got up. It was all love, but it was a bit, made me say, oh, geez. I guess you could say that about any of the plays where people got hurt tonight.
Yep. Very accurate. And that brings us, I guess, into the final segment, the DeMarre Carroll, the infamous, the one and only DeMarre Carroll Gold Star Award for worst performance. And it's, it's changed over the season. It's shifted into worst performance or worst event or worst thing of the game. So we're going to give that to, the potential injuries that happened. As we talked about, it was a dirty game. Not dirty. I'm going to refrain from that because I can't speak to what the intentions were, but it certainly the outcome
the Heat
of the
definitely
aggression.
play aggressive. Yep.
The outcome of the aggression was that we had players that could have been injured moving into the playoffs, and that's never cool.
Yeah, whenever we play the Heat, they're a very scrappy team. It's always borderline. You don't want to say dirty, but it's always stepping on that line, seeing where we're at. But that's just how they play. I'm glad we're not playing the Miami Heat in the playoffs. That was the one bottom seed team that I didn't want to play. I know you didn't want to play the Bucks, but
hey, listen, we
I'm
both
happy
got
with the
what we want. We
Wizards.
both got what we want.
Yeah.
Play the Wizards. I think that
we need
is
some
the best
redemption
matchup.
from 2015.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Holy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we clue it up there and let the fans let us know what they think?
Yeah, weird game for Toronto tonight. They played pretty good. It was the defense kind of lapsed in the overtime, but we're focused on the postseason right now. Game 82 don't matter. It's
right.
Getting that win in Toronto against the Washington Wizards. Gotta pay them back for what Paul Pierce did to us in 2015.
Yep, for sure. All right.
Anyways, thanks for listening, everyone out there. You guys are the best. We're going to try and get as much playoff content coming to you in the next couple days. So stay tuned to the channel. Let everyone know going into the playoff time they need some Raptors coverage. Come to the Raptors Digest.
Cheers.